They say motherhood is a journey, but let's be honest, sometimes it feels more like a roller coaster with no seatbelt. I bet you're like me, wondering why babies, or teens in my case, don't come with instruction manuals. Welcome to This Incredible Mom Life, the podcast that celebrates the beautiful chaos, quiet wins, messy moments, and everyday miracles of being a mom. I'm your host, Dummy, wellness coach, mom of 3 boys, and a passionate believer that you don't have to live at the mercy of PMS, burnout, or exhaustion. Join me every week as we hear the craziest and most unbelievable mom stories. I'll be sharing the huge accomplishments and triumphs of both our moms and their kids. We'll giggle, cheer on the kids, and discuss obstacles and lessons learned along the way. If you are struggling to be the best mom you can be, how open-minded are you to booking a free call with me? You don't have to live at the mercy of your cycle, and you definitely don't have to do it alone. Give yourself permission to let me be part of your support system. I believe that you weren't meant to just survive motherhood. You were meant to thrive in it. Behind every superwoman is a story of grit, growth, and real-life challenges. And today we're diving into all of it again. Lindsey Alexis is a women's hormone and somatic healing coach. She guides high-functioning women towards reconnecting to their bodies, regulating their nervous systems, and restoring energy and hormonal harmony through science meets soul approach that honors your capacity and pace. Thank you, Lindsey, for joining me today.
Yeah, no worries. I'm excited. We're going to have a
Yeah, me
great
too.
conversation today.
We are. It'll be fun. So let's get started. Tell us who you are mom to.
Yeah, so I have a 13-year-old son and a 11-year-old going on 21 teenager girl. Yeah, and they are the basis of why I do so many things. And we've really been through a lot together, so it's been great.
Nice. So share a story about your kids.
Yeah, so my oldest son, he actually has type 1 diabetes. And it's something that like doesn't run in our family at all. So we were very shocked to hear that he had it. He was diagnosed at the end of 2023. So that would have made him about 10 years old, almost 11 when he got it. And from there, we learned a lot. I had already had, a pretty extensive background in like nutrition and health before that happened. So we were able to like adjust accordingly. It wasn't really that hard to adjust to. And as far as my daughter goes, she is very creative. She's very artistic. She's always either deconstructing something and like making it better, or she's creating something out of nothing. I love her artistic ability so much. Like it runs in the family, but it skipped me. It skipped over me. So, so kudos to her for all of her creativity. She's always, like I said, coming up with something.
Nice. Awesome. So how was your learning curve with your son's condition and all the
Yeah.
new things that you had to do?
Yeah. So, well, when it started, he just got really sick. We thought he just had the flu. But then that night, after we had been through like this whole day of all these symptoms, I was like, I just don't feel comfortable letting him go to sleep. So we took him to the ER, and sure enough, they were like, his ketones were like, well, his ketones were large, but his um his blood sugar was like 550 or something like that, or
Wow.
600. Like it was super high. Um, and we stayed a week in the PICU and got it all under control. And I had previously worked at that same PICU, like I think it was maybe like 6 months prior I had left. So it was kind of like awkward being like the patient instead of like working there. Um, but I had already known all of the other kids who had come in previously with, the diabetes and stuff and what to do. So For me, it luckily wasn't that hard. For him, I think it was more of an adjustment because we have been more cautious of like how much of different things that he eats, and he can't necessarily eat everything that everybody else is eating on a regular basis. And that's also kind of hard with his sister because his sister can. So we try to balance out like the snacky and sugary things with her so it doesn't like make him feel bad. But we also do allow him to have some of that stuff occasionally. Um, More so at the beginning, I should say um, knowing how the whole body functions like that, I was able to keep him off of insulin for about 6 to 8 months after he was diagnosed, just from the nutrition and exercise and stuff like that. Um, it was when he came to me and he's like, "Mom, like I just want to be normal and I just want to eat cake." That I was like, okay. I was like, but understand that when you do this, like, this is what we're going to have to start doing and be up on it and stuff like that. So I did give him the choice of which path, and he chose being a kid, which you can't blame him. But now as he's getting older and he's going into the deeper teenage years, and now his like career goals is to go into the military and be in the Air Force, so you can't have diabetes. So we're trying to now kind of shift back into, okay, what can we do to kind of lower his stress levels, the fight or flight response in his nervous system, watching his food intake, his water intake, his exercise, and stuff like that. But if the Air Force is where he wants to go, then I'm going to do whatever I can to try to help him reach his goals. So,
Nice.
yeah,
It's a common theme on my podcast to really trust your intuition.
yeah,
And I think that's like you had that moment where like you were like, no, he's not going to bed like this. I need to
yeah,
have him checked out.
yeah,
So yes, for the moms listening, trust your intuition. It's so important.
100%.
Um, yeah, because it can change your trajectory and help, find something that was seriously wrong. So
Yeah.
definitely a learning tip there. Well, now share who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So I'm Lindsay. I have been on this online coaching realm of things since 2015. Since then, it has evolved as I have evolved. Originally, I was just saying this the other day. My original website was a blog website. No videos, nothing existed at the time. Like it was just straight blogging. And it was called Mind, Body, Soul After Baby. And it was during that phase where I had two under two, going through the motions of what it takes to be a mom with juggling two under two, um, taking care of yourself while taking care of them, nutrition, exercise, organizing, planning, like you name it. My blog was like a plethora of knowledge for moms, and just like what I had learned, what I had gone through, how to manage all the different balls that we juggle as moms, especially early on. And then from there, it progressed more into helping women who have chronic illnesses heal those chronic illnesses. I had met some moms during that beginning phase that had chronic illnesses, and I had never known what they were at all. And one of them I became a really good friend with, and I was like, I'm going to help you like figure this out, and we're going to get through this together. And she had fibromyalgia, and then over time it kind of got a lot worse. But I was trying to help her out, and I just took like this really deep dive into all the research, all the videos, all the books, like so many things on chronic illness. I went back to school during that same time for biology, got my biology degree, learned a lot about anatomy and all the functions of cells and genetics and like so much stuff. Um, and then I came back to her to try to like help her get through these things. And she was like, well, my doctor says that it's not going to work, that none of these things are going to work. So it was very hard on me because I'm such like, well, I'm a hard-headed person, first of all, but I also like care really deeply about people that are close to me. So for her to just kind of like not even try the advice that I had researched so hard on, like it was hard breaking for me. But I also learned a valuable lesson that people have to want to change and people have to want something better, and you can't force information on people if they're not open to receive it. So I had to let that go, but I managed to switch my website to the healing lifestyle, which is kind of the basis for what it is now. But I focused on that chronic illness for women um, part. Again, just continuing research, education on all of that. And then that kind of shifted me into the hormonal aspect of things because the core of all of those things, 9 times out of 10, are your hormones. So I was like, okay, let's fine tune this and let's drop it down into hormones. So then I went and did basically the same stuff, did all this research, all this education on hormones. And then my sister, who's a lot older than me, is well, she started to go through perimenopause and now she's like at the cusp of menopause right now. And then you have me right behind her starting to go through the perimenopausal things. So I kind of was bouncing my information back and forth with her and what she's going through and then applying it to what I go through. So there's always like my business is always like one step behind of what I have lived through,
Yeah.
which I think is very good because then I can actually resonate with, people who are going through it. And I've done all the legwork ahead of time so that you guys don't have to do it.
Yes, absolutely. So I love that you continue to learn and grow along with your
Mm.
life experiences, right?
Yeah.
So that is great. Um, Tell us a little bit about what you see when you meet the moms who have a lot of nervous system dysregulation. What are they feeling?
Yeah. Um, a lot of times, and even I was there, it's this push through mentality. It's I have it, I'm okay. It's just a thing, it'll go away, or I can just take this supplement for it, or I will just exercise more, or I will, eat this and not eat this, or I'll eat less of this or more of this. And it's like these little like hacks almost that we try to do. And the problem that I always see is it's not just a one-off thing. It's your body is a collection of organs, it's a collection of systems. And so we need to be treating, all of these symptoms from like fatigue, burnout, emotional regulation, like all of these things are all impacting the body and its functionality. So we can't just like pinpoint, these different, it's kind of like when you're working out, like you can't just work out your abs to lose weight. Like you're gonna have to work the whole body in order to do that. You can't just micro focus on these things. So pushing through is definitely a thing. I would probably also say like diminishing or shrinking ourselves too.
Mhm.
That I guess the outside pressure from people get to us mentally, and it's like, I can just do this, or it's not that serious, or, there's some sort of connotation of like, I don't want to burden other people with what I'm going through or something along those lines. So I would say those two
Yeah.
things for sure.
Yep. And so what do you say to those moms who come to you and they're in that survival mode? They're, constantly stressed out, overwhelmed, exhausted, but they don't really know why. Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've tried everything and nothing worked. Like, what do you say to those moms?
Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, I start with the reassurance that there's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. If your energy's low, you're not lazy. Like you're just in this season of your life where you have taken on so much that now you have to like kind of flip the script and become aware, and then we can work through step by step how to like navigate exactly what's going on with you, because I feel like a lot of times we're given these blanket statements about how to fix burnout or how to fix our fatigue or um oh, it just popped in my head about like, oh, boosting your energy. Boosting your energy is like I like cringe every time I hear someone say, "Oh, this will boost your energy." And I'm like, "Please stop saying that." Like because energy is like a sustainable thing. It's like a long-term, healing. Like you have to heal it long term. You can't just like take something and then, oh, I'm going to boost your energy all of this. That's not how this works. Like none of this works. So I hate like the quick fixes. So I always say too, like, okay, yes, nothing's wrong with you. Yes, you're in this season, but yes, we can fix it. But it's not an overnight type fix. This isn't a quick fix solution. Like you've been doing this for years. It's going to take time to heal all these systems, get them back online properly. And that way you do boost your energy. You do come out of the overwhelm. You have more clarity. Like all of these things start clicking, but it takes time and patience with yourself to get there.
Yep. Yeah. And as we come into our late 30s, early 40s, that perimenopause throws in extra challenges. So talk about those.
Yeah. So the biggest one is going to be fatigue, I would say, because just the way our cortisol levels are constantly at this like high level, it's continually like draining all of our energy because we're constantly in this fight or flight state. So I typically go in and we look at, how are you starting your day, or what kind of stressors do you have throughout your day? What are your habits like? What are you eating that might be triggering more, cortisol release? And a lot of times there's a lot of caffeine involved with that too. So I really just go in and look at that individual person, and then we assess. There's a whole assessment form that I have, and we'll go through every single nook and cranny of your life and we will pick it apart so that way we know, because the end result is going to be like we want to lower those cortisol levels more than anything so that all those systems stop being stressed out and they can actually breathe, and your body can come back into peace and ease and regulation from that state.
Yeah. So important because there's so many changes that happen in that
Yeah.
time frame, right? So yeah, just take it one at a time, I guess, and then you can slowly fix every system
Yeah.
in the body. Nice.
Yeah.
Now you talk about this on your podcast. So talk about the Healing Her Feminine podcast that you host.
Yeah, so we talk about so many things on this podcast. This is like the light of my life right now. I didn't think I could be as in love with a podcast as I am with how this one has been turning out. So I talk about all the things. I talk about nutrition. I talk about what the status quo is on how we should be thinking or feeling or navigating certain things. I talk about nervous system work. I talk about, like I just mentioned, the cortisol levels. I talk about different phases of our lives. We even get into spirituality concepts. So we get into like lunar cycles or feminine cycles and rhythms of that sort. I just did an episode yesterday with a Reiki master and intuitive healer, and she had a lot of insight with lunar cycles again, but also like how we have spirit guides around us or how we have angels that help us out or past life things happening. And it was a really awesome episode. I have another one coming up with a functional nutritionist, and she's going to talk about hormone replacement therapy and the options for women who are at the end of that perimenopausal state and going into menopause and what that actually looks like. We talk about lab work, we talk about communicating with your doctor. Like there's so many things that we talk about on this podcast. It's all like feminine topics. It's everything that all women are going through at some point. And the core is just coming back to ourselves in this sovereignty and this intuition and just really reconnecting ourselves with ourselves instead of being disconnected and feeling so out of balance in so many different areas of our life.
Yep, sounds good. And then you have a free offer, which is a
Yeah.
7-day morning ritual. So talk about that.
Yeah, so the 7-day morning rituals is basically your blueprint for how to, I want to say properly start your mornings, but I don't really do like the blanket statements. So it's adjustable. It's 100% adjustable. So Each day is one habit that you implement, and you kind of habit stack each day on top of the next. And they're super easy and simple to do, like literally less than 5 to 10 minutes per habit that we stack.
Nice.
And then that's going to start your day off on the right foot, which ends up making your day more productive. You have more energy, you have more clarity, and then days turns into weeks, turns into month. And it's really just like this very cool starting point that's super easy to do.
Nice. Awesome. So if people want to learn more with you or they have questions, where can they find you?
Yeah, just go to lindseyalexis.co. That's my website. If you would like to get the 7 day morning rituals, I'm sure we'll post the link in the description box as well. But same web address and then /7 day morning ritual. And just make sure you have the dashes in between each one of those.
Perfect. So yes, I will put all of those links in the show notes so that people can find you and connect with you. This was pretty informative.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, Lindsey, for joining me today.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, for sure.
Nice. And as we finish off, I just want to say, if something in today's episode felt like a mirror, don't ignore that. Your body, your mind, your heart, they're always communicating, and you deserve as much support as you give. So thank you all for being here, and you will hear from me next week.
Are you struggling to be the best mom you can be? Are you fatigued, overwhelmed, and stressed out? Are you losing precious time with your family because of PMS? If so, sign up for my free gift on how to start living in tune with your monthly cycle. The link to get it is in the show notes below. Use this guide to help you start to eliminate your symptoms of PMS, increase your energy, reduce stress, and fully enjoy this incredible mom life. The way I see it, you have 3 choices. You can try to figure it all out on your own. You can do nothing and stay where you are, or you can get the customized guidance you need to thrive as a mom. The choice is yours. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something from these stories. If you enjoyed this show, please make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast. It really helps this show grow. If you have a mom story you would like to share, click on the link in the description below on becoming a podcast guest. Remember, the content on this podcast is for general information only. It does not replace any medical advice given by your healthcare providers. Please check with your doctor if you have any questions about your specific condition and before starting any new diet or exercise regimen. Thank you, and you will hear from me soon.